Hey, fellow toy fans, welcome back to the Spectre Creative Channel. I'm a LEGO representation of Scott Toy Guru Knightlick, longtime toy maker, and like you, a toy collector, which is probably why you're here on this channel. All right, so here we have yet again another video, can't talk, it's early this morning, about the Robbie Reyes Ghost Rider Engine of Vengeance HasLab project. And the reason is because SignFin asked me on the comment section why Hasbro would offer a early bird item. So what that means is, in addition to getting the awesome Robbie Reyes Ghost Rider figure and his car, well, they had a new kind of tier. Previously, all of the tiers that got unlocked were because after the minimum was met, if you did more than the minimum, Hasbro would add other items. Well, in this case, they tried something new and innovative, a early bird concept. Meaning, if you were one of the first in the door, you would get a human form of Ghost Rider, of Robbie Reyes. This is the modern version of Ghost Rider. We'll get into that in a moment. And, well, this was meant to be a carrot to hold out to fans to jump on board early. And the question that was asked in the comments is, why do this? Will this help Hasbro reach the 9,000 backers they need or not? Well, the answer is not, because they didn't hit it. It failed to launch. They didn't hit the 9,000 in time to unlock this figure, and the figure is now off the table and is not going to be available. So a lot of fans are now saying, well, I guess is this time to bail out on the project entirely? And the answer for a lot of fans, well, has been yes. A big part of this is because of the price point. I mean, $350 for a 6-inch scaled car is a lot. Now, granted, that's because of labor and MOQ and cost and manufacturing, but it also has to do with their choice in character. As I mentioned, this is modern Ghost Rider, and I will tell you I'm a huge Marvel fan. So not familiar with this version of Ghost Rider personally. I mean, maybe I'll lose my Marvel fan club card for saying that, but this is just not the Ghost Rider that I knew. I read comics in the 90s, which meant I was familiar with the 50s, 60s, 70s, and 80s as well, but this is my Ghost Rider. This is the one that I'm excited about because I can't wait to get a classic-looking Ghost Rider on a vintage card that reminds me of my childhood and toys that I may or may not have gotten, which I did not get. So the question then for fans is, should they pay up early and get this bonus character? So, going back to the original question of why even offer an early bird figure, especially when it didn't work, and now for those excited to get the human form, they're not going to get it because they didn't hit the early bird item, or the early bird quota that was needed. All right. So now the question is, why? Why even do this? It all comes down, like most things in toy, as minimum order quantity, MOQ, which is the minimum amount a factory requires a manufacturer to order before they'll go into production. Now, this is because most things are made in China, and the factories that do plastic injection molding, besides making toys and Happy Meal toys and all sorts of fun things, well, they also make just regular things out of plastic, like cups. And if you're a factory owner in China, you would much rather make cups because there's way less labor involved. There's no assembly, or very little, if you will. So when you're making something complicated like a toy that requires assembly, or in this case filling it with bubble bath, well, you're going to have a higher MOQ because it has a higher labor. So when you have something very complicated like a car, well, it has a lot of labor. So by doing an early bird figure, what this was Hasbro trying to lock in that MOQ early in the project so that Hasbro, knew it was going to happen. It's like planting a flag on MOQ Mountain, knowing that, okay, hey, it's only been going for a week and a half. We know this HasLab project's moving forward, which means we can start showing the even bigger unlocks and try to get even more, because the more you get, the lower the price for Hasbro, which means they can add more items into it for fans. It's, a whole rotational thing. I did a video on this a few days ago. Check it out. I'll put it at the end of this video. So will we get, Robbie Reyes on a single card? They've said no. They said he's off the table, which is a shame because I think that was a big reason a lot of fans were jumping in. And a lot of fans now thinking of dropping out because they're not going to get this bonus figure. So, in other words, Hasbro's, forget about it. We're not going to do this anymore. Didn't hit the early bird that we needed. And, well, that kind of backfired pretty quickly because if you've been paying attention to HasLab, you can see that they've been hemorrhaging the number of pre-buyers over the weekend. My advice to Hasbro, not that you asked for it, is to basically do the same thing that you've been doing for years with fan choice figures. Find out what fans actually want, especially if they're going to pay over $300 for something. Now, granted, a lot of the items they've offered that haven't made it forward are things they had to do for licensors. This Cookie Monster was requested, would be a nice way of putting it, by the Sesame Street team. They wanted to see this done. Same thing with Lucasfilm, had a huge push for the third sister character after Obi-Wan, even though she gave up and destroyed this lightsaber at the end, so it didn't even make it through the series. Yeah, I don't know. But, on the other hand, the sail barge, which is something fans have been asking for years, did make it. And that was even their first attempt. So yes, listening to your fans is the way to go, and that is why they did the early bird item, so they could secure the MOQ early on and be guaranteed success. But because of that, it didn't work, and here we are now. Probably likely this item may not go forward. So they're losing more buyers than they're gaining. I hope this video clarified, and thank you so much, Seinfeld, for the question. I love getting them in the comment section. You too can be in the comment section, or share this video. Great ways to support this channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.